there's like a delay.
There is.
It looks like we're there.
About 6 seconds.
Yeah. I am live with my wonderful client who is killing it right now, Kaffy Rice Oxley. How the hell are you?
I'm good, mate. Well, I'm a bit warm, little bit warm today.
Yes.
But apart from that,
doing good.
all good.
Good. Well, thank you for coming on. I won't do you any kind of injustice or disservice by trying to describe what you do. So I'm going to ask you, if you may, just in a sentence or two, to tell everyone watching or listening what you sell and who you sell it to.
So I help brilliant people who are fabulous experts, but maybe they don't always sound like it, to speak up and show up as themselves, their real selves, in any room, any stakes, any people, any interaction.
Outstanding. And you've agreed, which I'm very thankful for, but you've agreed to hop on and tell not just me, everyone else as well, about the experience you've had working with me and the team inside the C2C program, right?
Very happy to. Very happy to. Yeah, I think it's a year this week, actually.
Oh, shit.
This week it's a year.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, June.
This is a good time to do this.
The anniversary.
Yeah, definitely need a theme song. Yeah.
That's the second time you said that in like 5 minutes. Okay, maybe I'll do some beatboxing at the end.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah.
Let's go back, if we may, and just unpick a few things. There's a brilliant headline for this, which is you were working 3 days a week, but after being inside in a part-time job, 2 kids as well, which can't go unmentioned, even though I know you love working like me. But after being with us for 7 months, you were able to quit the job and go all in, which is a pretty big fucking headline. We're going to come to that.
Yeah. Okay.
But what was life like internally before C2C, ignoring the business for a sec, because you're trying to get it off the ground, but you've also got other commitments and this part-time job. Take us back there for a sec.
So I had a part-time job. I was working three days a week. It was quite a responsible job. I was running an organization and it was a good job. I enjoyed it. I feel my skills were well used in that job. I was able to help people. I was in the public sector and I was able to help people doing it. So nothing negative about the job at all. But for quite a while, and I think COVID kind of did this to a lot of people, didn't it? It made you really think about what you wanted to achieve in your life. And before COVID, when I was, because as you know, I taught for 12 years and then I was self-employed and I was singing. COVID hit and obviously no singing. And I just got to the point where I was, singing again, enjoying my singing, getting out there. And then obviously COVID just, put paid to that. And I think after COVID, I really thought, what do I want to do? I want to keep singing, but I want to do something to do with my lifelong passion, which is the voice, the speaking voice, and how the voice is a real representation about who you are as a person. Like, we reveal ourselves through our voice, not just like where we come from or our age or whatever, but like we reveal our emotions through our voice. And our voice is so powerful, our speaking voice, to help other people, inspire other people, nurture, care for. The voice is so important, and I really wanted to do something with that. But then sort of after COVID, I had one part-time job, then I had this part-time job, which, as I say, was a good job and I enjoyed it and I did good work in it. But I sort of had this, what I really want to do is I want to do more with my singing, and I really want to help people because of the experiences that I've had with nerves and stuff. I really want to help people with their speaking voices. So I guess when I first spoke to you last year, I felt very out of alignment because I had, my kids and my home life. My children are now 8 and 11. So I had that, I had the singing, and then I had this job, which at certain points would get very, had some weeks in that job, which were very difficult because, any job working with people, you have, difficult situations that you go to sleep thinking about and all that kind of thing. And it just felt I was just jumping. I'd have these days where I'd just, jump all over and trying to grow this business as well. So I'd go from the kids, and the same day I could sing and, drop the kids at school, go sing at a care home, come home and coach somebody. Then I'd have a couple of Zoom calls to do with my job, and then I'd maybe go to an evening meeting to do with my job. And it was just like, I was just doing far too much stuff. It was just it was too much, and I really wanted to bring it into alignment. So the plan was, because I decided that voice confident, that the voice stuff was what I really wanted to do, and also to take over from the singing eventually, because singing's a very physical thing. So I sort of can't be singing into my 80s or whatever. So so when I spoke to you, it was that this was what I wanted to do, but at the time it was the thing that I almost had the least time for, because I was being pulled in all of these other directions. So yeah, so when you met me, I was very scatty's the wrong word, but do you know what I mean? I just had too much going on, basically.
It sounds like a lot. Amy's away this week, and I'm coming up for 12 hours of solo parenting, and that has been a lot.
Yeah.
We've done it like, and Ivy's been out of the house for 6 of those hours. Anyway, so you decided to add even more onto your plate in a way and join us inside C2C. What was the catalyst that made you join us specifically?
It was your book, really. It was when I got your book. And I'd watched some of your content, and I got the book and I read the book, and it was just so practical. And I'm a practical sort of person. I like clarity. I like knowing what it is that I need to do. And I think at that time, the business world, because I've been self-employed for quite a while at that point, but not really running a business, which is a different thing. And I'd never had an online presence, never been on LinkedIn really. And I think I found the whole thing a bit confusing about, what I was supposed to be doing, when I should be doing it, what order I should be doing it. And I got the book, and the book, obviously, as you know, because you wrote it, goes through in a very orderly manner. It starts at the beginning and takes you through these stages. And I thought that is what I need. I need to be able to go through these stages. So when I came into C2C, I think that's what I was expecting, a fairly simple sort of A to B thing, which of course it hasn't worked out like that at all. But yes, I added it, and the reason I added it was it almost, it's like I spoke to my husband about it at the time, and it almost had to work. Like it had to work, you know what I mean? Like either C2C would work and I would have a business, or I would have to accept that I wasn't, because I'd already been doing it for a good year at that point. I'd been doing voice confidence. I'd been trying to put myself out there. I'd been trying to, been going to business clubs, been doing this, that, and the other. But I wasn't clear in my own mind what my business was or what I was doing. And I certainly wasn't clear from a marketing perspective or a messaging perspective or an offer perspective. Of course, I only realised those things a bit later on. But that was what it was. It was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go all in. I'm going to do whatever this guy tells me to do. Which I think I've done. I think I've been pretty obedient, really. Let's be honest. Because I trusted you because of the book, and I thought he knows what he's talking about. I'm going to do that, and if it works, perfect. And if it doesn't work, maybe this isn't the right thing.
Okay. Yes, very obedient. You've come out swinging. It took a little while to get going, but I can distinctly remember the feeling, and from my point of view, reading in Slack and seeing on calls the fact that you were now able to give up your job because you'd launched and filled the group program.
Yeah, so the program, so that came out of all of the work that you have in C2C around, working out the offer and the messaging and all the different, so many GPTs and so many systems and so many different things, and also the personal stuff. But I think one thing I think people sometimes misunderstand about your program is because a lot of your messaging, understandably, is very sort of about content, very business focused, which I get. But actually inside the program, there's a lot of focus, isn't there, on the personal. There's a lot of focus about identity, about deciding what we want to reveal to the world and why. And it's about building a business that we want, and that it's around the life that we want, whether that's supporting our family or having a creative outlet or whatever it is. And I think that probably more than anything, and I'm sure the people on the program would say the same, it's that alignment of your identity. It's understanding all of that, which then makes a massive difference to the business. So my program Real came out of all of that work, not just the business work, but the personal work. And actually one of the biggest things you've done for me personally is helping me to understand. It's like, we did the personal brand DNA this morning, but we've been doing bits on that for a while, and me understanding that these aren't different bits of my personality, like my singing and my teaching and my voice obsession and my theatre work, like these are not all different things. These are all part of me. This is part of my offer. Like I am the offer. It's my very disparate experience across performing arts, across leaving singing, across my teaching, it's across all of this. And also being a mother as well, this has a big impact on who I am. Being a woman in my mid-40s, this has a big impact on who I am, that I can understand other people in a similar situation. So all of that, it's all of that led me to create Real, because it was understanding that I wasn't wanting to be another public speaking coach. Yes, I can, I've done enough stage work. Yes, I teach audience whispering and I teach frameworks, and I do all of that with certain clients. But if I had to pin it down to what I want to do, I want to help people show up as their real selves. And it's not the easiest thing for everybody. Like being your real self in public isn't actually as straightforward for everyone as some people think it is. Some people need some help and support there. They need nervous system regulation. They need changes in their mindset. Some people need some vocal skills and some, connection skills. People need different things, and that's what Real does for people. It takes people where they are, and it takes them to a place where they can connect and communicate as their real self in any situation. And I would never have got to that realization that that's what I wanted to do if we hadn't have done all of the personal identity work. Oh, and I'd also like to throw in at this point, I don't know if I'm allowed to reveal this to the masses. You can stop me if I'm not. But our weekly wins form. So when you started the weekly wins form, I noted that there's a biggest win and a second biggest win. And the biggest win has like brackets, can't be business. And then the second business win is business. And I think that is you sort of slightly revealing yourself to everybody, Christopher, because sometimes you can come across in your outward content as being, as I say, quite sort of businessy and hard-nosed, but you're a very real person yourself, and you're very family-oriented yourself, and you really care about the clients that you have. And you have a lot of clients, but you really care about us. And I think that is evidence of that you want us to recognize that our biggest win of the week is always going to be personal. It always is. And then we have business wins as well, and we all celebrate each other's business wins, but it's the personal win which is top of the tree.
You got me. Yeah, 100%. And that was absolutely intentional. No business, because we build the calendar lifestyle first.
Yeah.
Even if you're obsessed with business, you still got to have family time, date night, school trips, maybe not the trips, maybe the drop-offs or the sports days or the plays or whatever. Then we've got time remaining that we can spend on business, because if it's the other way around, what's the point? And that comes from me doing it the wrong way around to begin with. And obviously there's times got to sacrifice. Yeah. But let's delve into that. It's almost like you kind of half preempted what was on my list of prompts or questions. You've quit the job. You've gone all in on C2C as a program, but also gone all in on Real, your program.
Yeah.
How's that impacted life outside the business?
I feel so. Yeah. So what happened was I set up Reel. I didn't really know how it was going to sell, to be honest. Um, but I did. I sold all 10 places that I was trying to sell. And just knowing that I'd done that felt to me, I mean, yeah, it was still a risk. It was still a risk leaving the job. And as I say, I enjoyed that job. There were lovely people at that job. So it wasn't that I was desperate to get out of the job, but I just, as soon as I sold those 10 places, I thought, right. And because I hadn't even built it yet, so I'd managed to sell something that people wanted, 10 people. And I thought, right.
Can you hear me, Kaffy? Kaffy.
Are we back?
I can hear you again now. Yeah. I was
Okay,
just doing a
sorry.
speed test. You sold 10 spots is the last thing I heard.
So I sold 10 spots, and that was basically the proof of concept. Because I thought, if I can sell 10 spots when it doesn't exist yet, then in the future, when I have a program, and of course I built Reel entirely based on C2C. It's 2 calls a week. It's coaching notes. It's basically, it's an online program, very, very similar to C2C, because I mean, we can talk about how C2C works if you like, but I just really enjoyed how C2C was put together. And I'd never been in a group program like that before. So that combination of the online program that I could get to any time, the calls that I could come to when I wanted to ask questions, the community, that whole thing, I thought, this is a great thing. So I basically just, copied everything that you did and set up my program. And it was that I thought, okay, I can leave the job. And I hope you heard the bit about me saying it wasn't that I was desperate to leave the job. It was a lovely job, but I really wanted to be aligned. So your question about what was it like then, I think there was a lot of relief that I wasn't, because it was a big, as I say, it was a big job that I was doing. It was a whole other sector. It was a whole sector of local government that I was having to hold in my head. Like law and restructures and local government reorganization. And there was a lot going on in what I was doing. So it was like having a whole piece of my head that I didn't have to think about that anymore. And I could just think about singing, voice coaching and confidence, and learning about business. And it has been fascinating, absolutely fascinating. I love learning. So learning about business and marketing and branding and all that stuff has been, really fun. So it feels very aligned now. I feel like I only do one thing as well, although I do singing and coaching, and I do go into businesses and stuff as well. So I do a number of different things, but it feels like it's all one thing really now.
Mm.
So I just have my work and I have my family, as opposed to lots of choppy things.
Exactly what we do it for, right?
Yeah.
You've kind of touched on this, and it sounds like the answer is the identity work. But what do you think you can credit for your results so far?
I think it's a lot of different things. I think, yes, the identity work and the alignment and understanding that I am now bringing my whole self into a program which is about other people bringing their real whole selves to the table. It's a lovely thing to be able to do, and a bit like you do in C2C. You draw on a lot of your experiences, and you're a great role model for all of us, because you've been through this, and you're constantly saying, don't do this because of, do it like this, and you have all of these different systems for us, so we get to jump ahead. We don't need to make all of the mistakes. We get to jump ahead to where you are, and we have your Google Sheets and your GPTs and your systems, and we get to jump ahead and just start using those that you've spent, like, I guess 20 years or whatever developing. So that's amazing. But yeah, I think it's the alignment of myself into my work is really nice. It's really nice. I get to I feel like I'm a single person now. I'm just myself, always. And even when I'm speaking, when I was saying to someone the other day, because I have such a belief in like your real self and connection and stuff, even when I'm speaking to audiences, I pretty much just speak like this. Like I'm the same if you meet me for coffee, if you meet me on Zoom, if I'm doing a coaching call, or if I'm speaking on a stage, I'm exactly the same person. So I'm getting to sort of live out my philosophy, as it were, while also teaching it and helping other people with that. So it's a combination of those two things. It's the identity work, and they're coming up with this program which I feel really represents me. My real program is mine, and nobody else could have written that program. So that's great. But also, yeah, the business education side. And, you know, you go off on like masterminds and stuff all the time, don't you? And like master classes, and, you know, you're constantly reading and learning and doing all of this stuff. And then you bring all of that back for us, which I think is brilliant. Oh, also one more thing, the community. I think being able to see other people's journey. So I've been in a year, I still feel like I'm at the beginning in like most ways. I've got my offer and messaging and my program and everything sorted out now, but I'm still very much foothills. But obviously I see some people coming in now that are where I was last year. And then we've got people on our program, we've got coaches making 40, 50K a month. And I look at them and I think, okay, I can see this now. I can see this path, and we get to learn from them and what they're doing, and we get to learn from you and what you're doing. And yeah, it's just brilliant. It is brilliant on every level.
Thank you. Very kind words. I think you've missed one thing out, which isn't a program thing. It's a thing that you need to take credit for. It's reps and time and backing yourself, which we've already talked about today. Like, you can be in full alignment, but if you don't act and do it consistently and cut yourself a bit of slack when things don't always go as well as you want them to, which happens a lot in this sport, and then you're not going to get the results. So a lot of this, you can come on and say how amazing C2C is, and I'll have a massive grin, but it has to come right back to you to just say, well, you fucking did it. I might have gone like, well, go over there and have a look, or have you tried this? But you've actually got to do some work as well.
But that's the same thing. That is also, you know, you are the role model for that. Nobody works harder on this stuff than you do. So, you know, we see that all the time. Like, you've set us a live challenge this month, and you've been like going live all the time. How many of these have you done now? Have you been on like?
Oh, my whole aim was to beat the top performer.
Yeah. So
I've just not logged any yet.
But you're gonna sweep in at the last minute, like yeah. So you know, you do it all, and I think, and also, you know, it's part of being in a group, isn't it? That people inspire each other, and you have to take action because everybody around you is taking action. Yeah, and exactly as you say, it's reps and doing it, and I believe I can do it now. And it's a very, you know, business is a very different world. I was in teaching, you know, I was in education for 12 years. And then I was in local government. You know, they are not businessy sort of, you know, this is very different what I'm doing now. So it has, yes, it's taken me a while, and it's been, you know, taking little steps here and there. And as you say, cutting myself some slack and keep experimenting. And you say that to us all the time. You say, you know, it's a game, it's fun. Just try it, see what happens. Like, just give it a go. Why not? It's like, yeah, this is, you know, business. This is all fun. This is all fun. We try stuff out, and, you know, we get to help clients. Hopefully, along the way, we get to meet some great people, and yeah, it's all fun. And I think that, you know, that is an attitude that we as a group have, and it comes from you and Katie. I should give Katie a mention, and Vicky,
yes,
another Vicky who, you know, from before she left. You know, it's the team. It's a fun team, and when we have the live days, it's super fun, and everybody gets on really, really well because everyone's got the same attitude to like this to this. You know, so we're building businesses, we're working really, really hard, but it's fun. It's fun when it's about community and trying stuff.
Connection, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Thank you for all the kind words. I have another live, my final live of the day, I'm pleased to announce. So I'm gonna sign off in a second. Before I do, one last question. You may have heard this one before. If your best friend, who was definitely a good fit for C2C, was considering joining, and you had to persuade them in like 30 to 45 seconds, what would you say?
Well, I can only say it's been brilliant for me. I can only say it's been absolutely brilliant for me. It's been far more. It's been more in terms of the program, the community, the relationships, the support. Like it's been more, so much more than I expected it to be. That's probably a comment on your positioning there, Chris, actually. But it's brilliant. Definitely do it. Definitely do it.
I agree. Right. Thank you very much. Looking forward to seeing you on Thursday. We have a conversation as well to have about the marketing approach for where you go next, which I've got some ideas for and I'm quite excited by.
Cool.
But I have got to go. So thank you for a wonderful second live of the day that we've done together. And I'll see you Thursday, if not before.
When we will invent our theme song.
Yes.
Yeah. The two amigos. Yeah.
Thanks, Kaffy.
Yeah. All right.
Bye.